Hi, my name is Ling. Welcome to my slide talk for this year Artaxis Conversation for National Clay Week. A little background about myself. I'm a Hong Kong-born female ceramics artist who likes to play with hair. I am a beauty school dropout with a love and grief for color. I introduce hair into my ceramics instead of styling them on the hat. It is my desire to exploring how ceramics is more than just clay. First it off, thank you Artaxis invite me to join this year Artaxis conversation on the theme of industry. The word industry has always been associating with the ideas of mass production in related to high demands. As an artist, if I were to use the word industry into my daily practice, it would be my mass demands of desire with colors and brought me into the mode of mass production of my own work. Of course, I think there are more than to the surface of that. I think industry is also used as an artifact from a cultural, politic, propaganda use. Economically speaking, demand driven a high supply with the craft and skill particularly on ceramics field. The idea of demand is also driven by popular culture, the need of society, and the use of propaganda. In my opinion, the product from an industry is a perfect example to reflect the influence of that current culture to a politics standpoint. Let's draw an example that addresses that. Just a little history of ceramics. The teapot you're looking at right now is a no-stem-at teapot, which is possibly made in England by Coppice Hill Factory in 1766. So this teapot was made and sold to American market after 1766 the repeal of the Stamp Act. And this is a great demonstration of how industry is influenced by politic event. And this teapot recorded as one of the popular merchandise during that period of time, and the rapid mass production made teapot inevitably politicized the act of tea drinking culture as well. This tea set that you're looking at, it's designed by Carl L. H. Miller in 1876, manufactured by Union Porcelain Works in Greenpoint, Brooklyn in 1860s. In its own time, this is an object of caricature, which means it's a description of a person using exaggeration of some characteristic and oversimplify of others. It is made to seem humorous. Of course, it is outright racist. Simply looking at these images, the indication of milk is the handle of the creamer in the shape of a goat. The connection to the sugar production is the black man hat on the sugar bowl. Just the same reason how teapot is the hat of a Chinese man, indicating how tea is imported from. The merchandise from the industry reflects its own time about the source of import goods as well as a subjective stereotype of race. As to now, I think there's a lot of fossil representation exists based on a lot of mass production products from different industries. Lots of my early ceramics work are addressing that, particularly the Chinese culture from America. The mass production of fortune cookies is being used in a Chinese restaurant as a courtesy for the end of the meal. This work is called American Born Chinese. It's my observation of how I seen fortune cookie as an object made by American culture. I have never seen a fortune cookie until I came to US 10 years ago. In fact, they are actually from California. The mass production of Maneko, or you can call it the Lucky Fortune Cat, it's a merchandise that mostly found in lots of Chinatown. I made this piece of installation which installed in Chinatown in Seattle. The whole row of cat would do a wave when someone walked across from the storefront window. It is a reflection to see how we have affected the culture and alter their origin. A recent movie, Crazy Rich Asian, Like most American movies, desexualize and keep Asians stuck in a specific rules within the movie industry. And this movie is a way to break through the stereotype, also address the Asian representation. The mass production industry does the same thing too. And I believe the same thing goes to the industry of art. I was once asked and advised by a gallery owner that I should make more Chinese-like art. I think this is exactly the concept about current industry. I think the industry of art should be driven by the diversity of its rather than boosting the old form, especially the one we have been molded into to make the most profit out of it. In less than a decade, the contemporary ceramics art scene has shifted. Although there is a tension between what is viewed as craft or as fine art, we need to embrace the concept of the noumena, showing how traditional practice and new conceptual approach interact. I think craft and fine art exist horizontally, one forming the others. As to address the industry of ceramics, I think as an artist is to driven a new way of thinking rather than mold into the expectation. So with my work, I shift out from the stereotype being Chinese artist. No porcelain, no blue and white, but everything together. I want to share my perspective of what ceramics can do and encourage new ways of thinking about ceramics as fine art, with respect for and understanding of its nature as craft. My ceramics form are the playground for glaze, and I like to challenge the roots and the root of ceramics by associating the material from its stereotypical or cultural accepted use. The use of the hair, which I see as a metamorphosis of the clay, serves as an extension of the ceramics process and also a transgressing the permanence of the clay, resetting the boundary of ceramics reflected by the cultural standard. My work also addresses my transitional stage between multiple cultures and languages through the complex layer of material onto my ceramic sculpture. I believe contemporary ceramics will serve as a later-day artifact of our current acknowledgement of cultural identity. It is a material strongly connected with history but never limited just to its own heritage. A new age of ceramics would be one where style is no longer restricted to its old form. Ultimately, I desire to invite others into my side of spectrum and to learn and study about how ceramics is more than just clay. I think this way about the industry of art. There should have more demand over about creativity than making into art fair.